Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Newage Legendary Heroes. This is number 61R. This is Tremors. So you'll probably noticed I've already done the review of Seaspray on here. This is just another use of the same mould, but what they are doing is they're giving a homage to the original GoBots colour of their particular version of something very similar to this. So again, it's a nice, it's just a homage to an older figure that, to be fair, we weren't really expecting, so that is why you are getting them as a two-pack. And the reason for this again is, I suppose, just to make it worth the price, because with these figures they aren't the cheapest, but you do get a lot for your money. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that in detail in a second. So before we get started, let's remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And the other is to thank Show's eStore, where there's a direct link in the description where you can order these from yourselves. So yes, they do come in a two-pack. Again, it just, I suppose, it makes it better, more cost effective. About £40 for the two of them, in UK pounds, obviously, which, to be fair, is about £20 each, which is obviously quite a bit more than a core class, less than a deluxe class. But let me show you why it, I suppose, warrants its price. So the figures themselves, they are dubbed as mini masterpieces, and that is due to the articulation, the detail, and the fact that they do actually have some die cast on these figures. So even though this figure is literally this small, to give you an idea, that is a standard Hasbro core class figure. It is way smaller than that, and it is probably only about the same size, about the same size as the original Generation 1 Minibot Seaspray. But in this figure, the head is on like a mushroom peg, so it'll look up and down, it'll turn side to side. The shoulders are on ball and socket, so these can give you a full T. They can also go all the way around, completely unrestricted. You can see that you've got a bicep swivel, you've got a bicep flexion. There's no wrist swivel in this, but you normally sometimes do get that in these figures. Even though this is absolutely tiny, there is a genuine ab crunch. That is not for transformation at all. You have an ab crunch, you have ball and sockets at the hips. So if we move the arms out of the way, you can do full splits and a little bit more that way. You can do full splits the other way. So what I mean about articulation, it's crazy. You've got, of course, because it's got the ball and socket at the top, but you've also got the swivel at the knee bend, and you've got an ankle tilt and a rock, and you can also adjust this heel sprue and indeed lift this forward to give it like a standing on his tiptoes as well. So as you can see, that is why they are dubbed mini masterpiece. The paint on these are brilliant as well, to be honest. And yeah, again, I'm really quite surprised with these particular figures. I've only been reviewing them literally just over a year now. In fact, I know, coming up to a year, and they tend to surprise me all the time. Now we've got some translucent plastic there for the front windows on the hovercraft, which I don't mind. Hopefully you can tell as well by what this is, like reflective metallic looking paint, and it does look good. This is, of course, the original owner of the mold. They called him Triton, and as I say, this guy's called Tremors. Now the reason why they're not using the correct name is because, as I say, they transform, and that means they aren't licensed by Hasbro or Takara, so they have to use different names. So this is the alternate mode, and again, you can see that these are die cast. You can probably hear, to be fair, when I'm spinning it around, and also some of the parts you'll feel it because they just feel quite cold. You've probably noticed already I've put a transformation tutorial up, because again, it's far more intricate than just these smaller transformations that you would expect. This again is the original one, so it's much smaller in that, which is interesting because obviously the robot's about the same size, but the actual hovercraft mode is much smaller. That's an old Thesema one. I've just popped that there because I wouldn't be surprised, especially with Newage, they tend to do loads of different recolors all the time. Now the accessories that come with him can be used for both. So you can pop the little gun. There we go, in the roof, there is the little gun. It is probably easy me putting it in there so you can see it. And then we've got this splash effect. This will fit into splash, wave effect, I'm not too sure. I think the original version's better because it's blue, so it does look like a genuine splash. Whereas with this one, I'm not too sure. I think, to be honest, that most people might use this for a shattered glass version, even though I think they are releasing a shattered glass version, or it's definitely a homage to the BotCon anyway. Expect many more repaints of this particular figure. So there he is with this on the back. To be honest, that doesn't look too bad at all. The packaging itself, as I say, they come packed in two, so you can see them through the window there. We've got some actual product images on the side and the same on the back. Now again, because they're not licensed by Hasbro or Takara, they don't have to abide by the same rules. They've got big plastic clamshells where they are both stored inside there. Now this, in fact, what I'll do first and foremost is I'll bring in a few figures just to give you from Newage, just to give you an idea of the size of these particular ones. But then what I will do is I'll bring in a few figures from other toy companies and toy lines, again, just not for you to be displaying, but to give you an idea of the scale and indeed the size. So there's a couple of Newage figures there, and as you can see, they really are nice and small. Right, a couple of other third-party companies. So that's Magic Square, this is Iron Factory, and this is Dr. Wu. So yeah, once again, they're not designed to scale with each other. It's just to give you an idea, if you collect any of these other figures, just how big they are. If you're, well, like me, before I started doing this channel and only collected official products, here's something to give you an idea of how big they are. So there's a Micromaster. Indeed, there's another one from Earthrise. You can see it's actually bigger. The Earthrise Micromaster in alternate mode is actually bigger. I've already popped up another core figure, but I'll bring up another couple of quick core class figures again, just to show you how tiny these are. I'm only going to go up to deluxe size, because I don't think the Voyagers will even fit on screen, to be honest. Now, he's quite a small deluxe, but as you can see, he towers over this particular figure. So again, hopefully that's giving you an idea of, say, just how big he is. For a bit of fun, I could put a G1 Optimus Prime, but he's just about fitting in. So hopefully that's giving you an idea of just how big he is anyway. Right, there's not really much more to show you this figure. Again, if you want to see the review of Triton, that is separately uploaded. So is the transformation process. Great little figures. I love the fact that they just do exactly this, just bring out so many different variants all at the same time. So it really does, I suppose, curb every single person's appetite for the figure. And indeed, they can get whichever colour scheme they want. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.